Welcome students again into the 12th science chemistry class. Now last few lecture we are learning about the halogen derivative chapter number 10, and in the last lecture I told you about the optical isomerism or optical isomers. Now what is the optical activity? We have to learn now, but before that let us learn some concept which are very important in this topic optical activity. Now first one is the plane polarized light. Now the light which have the oscillations in electromagnetic waves in the electromagnetic field in only one plane is called the plane polarized light. But such light we obtain by passing the ordinary light through the Nicol prism. Now what is ordinary light? So any source of light is the ordinary light. The light which have the oscillations in all possible direction is called as the ordinary light. Now see here ordinary light. The figure is also there of ordinary light, and ordinary light consists of magnetic waves having oscillations in all possible directions and planes perpendicular to the direction of propagation of light. Now this is the direction of propagation of light, and this is the ordinary light which have the oscillation or electromagnetic waves having the oscillations in all possible directions and which is perpendicular to the direction of propagation, that is called as the ordinary light. Now let us learn the plane polarized light. The light having oscillations only in one plane. The light having oscillations only in a one plane perpendicular to the direction of propagation. This is the direction of propagation, and this plane polarized light have the oscillation only in a one plane perpendicular to the direction of propagation of light is known as plane polarized light. So what is the plane polarized light? The light having oscillations only in one plane perpendicular to the direction of propagation of light is known as the plane polarized light. Now this is the ordinary ray of light or ordinary light, and this is the plane polarized light. When the ordinary light passes through this Nicol prism, what happens? We obtain the plane polarized light. Now what is this Nicol prism? Let's learn. Now see on the blackboard, there I write the information about the Nicol's prism. Now see there. Now Nicol prism. It is made up of calcite, calcium carbonate, that is marble like a rhombic shaped cube. Now it is made up of calcite, calcium carbonate, rhombic shape, cut from corners. They get cut from corners first, that Nicol prism, and then joined again by Canada balsam cement. It gets joined again by the Canada balsam cement. This is the Nicol prism, and when the ordinary ray of light passes through the Nicol prism, we obtain the plane polarized light. Now that is the very important point, students. Nicol prism is made up of calcite, that is calcium carbonate, and when the plane polarized, that is when the ordinary light passes through that Nicol prism, we obtain the plane polarized light. Now what is optically Thus, let us learn. The optically active substance always have the chiral carbon atom. It may be one or more. That is the asymmetric carbon. In the last lecture, we told about that. We speak about that. What is chiral center? Such carbon atom which have all the 4 valencies of it satisfied by the different atoms or different group of atoms. Such carbon is called as the chiral carbon. And in glucose, now some of the substances like lactic acid, in the last lecture we learned that is the 2-chlorobutane, there is one chiral center. In the lactic acid also there is the one chiral center. In glucose there are the 4 different chiral centers. So glucose is also the optically active substance. Glucose is also the optically active substance. So the organic compound having chiral carbon atom and whose aqueous solution like glucose is the optically active compound. So like glucose solution is placed in the path of plane polarized light. If such solution is taken into the container and if the optically active solution is placed in the path of this plane polarized light, what happens? Then the transmitted light has oscillations in different plane. Now this is the transmitted light. When the plane polarized light passes through this optically active solution, aqueous solution, we obtain the transmitted light which have the oscillation in the different plane. Now the plane may be in clockwise direction or right hand side or in anti-clockwise direction, that is the left hand side. So the organic compound having chiral carbon atom and whose aqueous solution like that of the glucose solution is placed in the path of plane polarized light, then the transmitted light has oscillation in different planes, either to right, that is the clockwise direction, or to the left, anti-clockwise direction. Such substances are optically active. Such substances are optically active substances, and for example, that is the all the sugars like glucose, fructose, these are the optically active substances, and the lactic acid, 2-chlorobutane, these are the optically active substances. Now let us study, student, what is the optical activity? Now the property of the substances by which it rotates the plane of plane polarized light is called as the optical activity. Now see the definition. The property of the substance by which it rotates the plane of plane polarization of incident plane polarized light is called as the optical activity. Now the substances which rotate the plane of plane polarized light to the clockwise direction or to the anti-clockwise direction, such substances are called as the optically active substances. Now this is about some of these concepts. Now there are 2 types of optically active substances, that is dextrose and leos, or dextrorotatory and leo-rotatory substance. Now what is the structure of glucose? Let us learn here. There are the 6 carbon atoms in glucose, 1, 2, 3, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and there are in this way, that is the H, OH, again OH, H, again one is the aldehyde group is there, CHO. Now this is the aldehyde group, C double bond OH, then HOH, HOH, OHH, again OHH, and are the again OH, H. Now see students, there are totally here 4 carbon atoms, 1, 2, 3 and 4 in glucose. This is the structure of glucose. Now in glucose there are the glucose is the optically active substance which have the 4 chiral centers. Now these carbon atoms, they have the different groups on their all the 4 valencies. Only this last carbon have the 2 hydrogen atoms because it is not the chiral center, and the first here is the double bond to the oxygen, so this is also not the chiral center. So glucose is very optically active substance. Now this is about the students, about the optically active substances and optical activity. Now let us learn what is the, that is dextrorotatory and levorotatory substances. But you take the screenshot, draw the figure with the lead pencil. Now this is very important figure, and that is the, you must draw this figure very accurately by the lead pencil only. Now we just learn about the optical activity. Now again we learn the optically active substances, but again see the, what is the definition of optically active substances or compounds. So the optically active compounds, the compounds which rotate the plane of plane polarized light to the right hand side or to the left hand side are called optically active compounds. I draw first here that figure, that is very important figure. You must draw that figure by using the lead pencil, and that is the accurately you label that figure. Now that figure is not found into the text, remember that. That is in the last syllabus textbook you will obtain that figure. Now here the second one is the optical rotation. Now this is the measure to measure the rotation of, that is the plane polarized light. You know the plane polarized light, and how the rotation, that is the optical rotation is there. Optical rotation is nothing but it is the angle through which that transmitted light, which is the rotated light, through which that rotated light gets rotated. That angle is called as the optical rotation. Now see in the figure, we rotate that plane polarized light in figure to the right hand side, and through which angle, that angle is the optical rotation. Now here, what is the definition? All these definitions are asked into the examination. If they ask the question, explain optical activity, you must write down one by one all these definitions. From that, we started from the ordinary ray of light, plane polarized light, Nicol prism, optically active substances, optical activity, then optical rotation, and now let us see the definition of this optical rotation, and then dextrorotatory, levorotatory, recipe, picture, enantiomers. All these are the concept in the optical activity. Now what is the optical rotation here? The angle, it is the angle through which a substance rotates the plane of its plane polarized light to left or to right, or to clockwise direction or to the anti-clockwise direction, on passing through the passing through it. That through it means through that substance is called optical rotation. It is the angle. It is the angle that the substance rotates the plane of plane polarized light to the right hand side or to the left hand side, through it is called as the optical rotation. Now next, there are the two types of optically active substances. Remember that are very important. That is the dextrorotatory. In short, it is also called as the dextrose. Now sometimes you may go into the hospital to meet your relatives. Then the doctor always says, give the patient that is dextrose. Dextrose means it is the glucose solution. Saline is the glucose solution, but glucose always rotates the plane polarized light to the right hand side, that is the clockwise direction, and so it is not called as that of the glucose, saline, etc., but it is called as the dextrose. Now that is the language, that is the medical language, or that is the scientific language. Now there are the two types of the optically active substances, dextrorotatory and levorotatory substances. Now what is the definition of these dextrorotatory substances? Very important. Now see here, the compound which rotates the plane polarized light towards right hand side or towards clockwise direction is called as the dextrorotatory substances, and these are denoted by the symbol small d or by plus sign. Remember that. Dextrorotatory substances, in the last lecture we draw the that is the mirror images of 2-chloro-butane, and into that I write down that is below the structure D and L. D means dextrorotatory, that which rotates the plane polarized light to the, that is the right hand side or clockwise direction. And levorotatory, leo means left, which rotates the plane polarized to the left hand side or anti-clockwise direction. Now in that object and mirror image, one is dextrorotatory, another is the levorotatory. Now see here, levorotatory substances, levorotatory substances, a compound which rotates the plane polarized light. You very well know now what is this plane polarized light. We draw here that figure also. Now a compound which rotates the plane polarized light towards left hand side or towards the anti-clockwise direction is called as the levorotatory substances, and they are generally denoted by L, small l, or by the negative sign. Remember that. Now let us learn again the definition of optical isomerism. In the last lecture we learned that definition, but see in short how then optical isomerism is there. It is isomerism, that means molecular formula are same, and in optical isomerism structural formula is also same. But what is difference? Now the isomerism which are the isomeric compounds have different optical activity. Have different optical activity means what? That means such isomers which rotate the plane polarized light to the opposite direction. That is they have the different optical activity is called as, that phenomena is called as the optical isomerism, and that isomeric forms, that is the dextrorotatory and levorotatory forms, are called as the optical isomers of each other. Remember student, they have same molecular formula, same structural formula, but they have the spatial arrangement of all the four groups that is around the asymmetric carbon atom. All the four groups are different and in a different direction, and that is the optical isomers. Now let us learn the enantiomers, very important concept. Now enantiomers are the optical isomers, the another name to the optical isomers. Now this name is given by the scientist to that of the optical isomers. Now what is this enantiomer? Enantiomers also have the different name as enantiomorphs, optical antipodes, etc. Now the optical isomer, enantiomers are nothing but they are the optical isomer, that is dextrorotatory and levorotatory. Now they are the optical isomers which are not superimposable mirror images, just like our palms. In the mirror image they looks in this way, but when we kept on one another they do not matches. That is the small finger is on that of the thumb, and again thumb on that of the small finger. That means they are not matches, that is coincidentally or exactly, and so they are the non-superimposable mirror images. Such non-superimposable mirror images are called as the enantiomers. So the optical isomers which are non-superimposable mirror images of each other are called enantiomers, or they are also called as the enantiomorphs or optical antipodes. And for example, in the last lecture we draw that structure 2-chlorobutane which exists as the pair of enantiomers. Let us draw again the different examples of enantiomers. We will see the example of lactic acid, and again we draw that is the structure of 2-chlorobutane, and also there is the structure I draw here, that is of the glucose, which have the 4 different chiral centers, and it is the dextrorotary. Let us see that structures now. You can take the screenshot and write down these notes in a beautiful handwriting. Now see here the 2 different isomers of 2-chlorobutane. I draw on a blackboard. Now it is the tetrahedral structure. All the 4 groups around that of the asymmetric carbon atom, that is the chiral centers, are in the different planes here. Now these 2 which are showing by the solid lines, they are in the plane. By dotted wedge, that is the back side of the plane, and by solid wedge in front of the plane. Now this 2-chlorobutane, only 1 asymmetric carbon into that. Now see here, always give the always give the priority 1 to the such group or atom which have the more atomic number. Then priority 2 such carbon which is joined by 2 different again carbons. And priority 3 here, that carbon which have now only the hydrogen. So always go from 1 to 3 in this way. If it is the clockwise direction, then that enantiomer is the dextrorotatory, and it is shown by the D or plus sign. And if now its mirror image, which is the non-superimposable mirror images, when we put this on this, what happened? The chloride comes on hydrogen and hydrogen comes on chloride. That means they do not matches. Such isomers are called as the enantiomers or optical isomers. Now here always chlorine have the 1 priority. Ethyl group have the, no, this is the ethyl group, C2H5. This ethyl group I directly write in this way, C2H5. This chlorine is here, this hydrogen is here, and this methyl group is here. Now these have the 2nd priority and these have the 3rd priority. Here also go always from 1 by taking 2 to 3 in this way. So this is the anti-clockwise or left hand side rotation. So it is the levorotatory or L or negative. In this way, these are the example of the enantiomers. We will see the remaining topic of this optical activity later on. But if you understand students, what is dextrorotatory, levorotatory, what is the Nicoll prism, what is optical activity, what is ordinary ray of light, what is the plane polarized light, what is the optical isomers, what is the enantiomers, then you must like, subscribe this video and try to understand. Thank you for watching that.